Hey, welcome back to the channel, A Day with Roger. In today's video, we're going to talk about electric bikes and operating them in the state of Florida under the Florida statutes. So, obeying the laws. And what are those laws? We're going to cover that in today's video. If you're new here, my name's Roger, and what I post is day-to-day stuff that I do every day, from riding my e-bike to paddleboarding to kiteboarding to doing work, running a chainsaw, all kinds of stuff, riding motorcycles. So check around on the channel, see if there's anything else that you might be interested in, and enjoy this video. So what are the laws regarding operating an electric bike in the state of Florida? Well, in 2019, I decided to buy a Sur-Ron from Lunicycle out of California. But before I did that, because it was quite an investment, I wanted to know what the laws were. So, fortunately, the Florida legislature had already perceived that there was going to be a lot of e-bikes on the road and interacting in traffic. So, they went ahead and they did pass some laws. So, I printed the statutes out. I went online and I looked them up. They were pretty easy to find with Google, of course. And I actually carry them under with my battery, just in case I get pulled over by a police officer. And you're never going to win an argument on the side of the road with a police officer, but if you at least you know your facts and you're pleasant with him and say, "Officer, I'm concerned about the law, and I'm one of the good guys, and I actually have the Florida statutes, and I don't know if you've ever read them or you're familiar with them, and I'm not here to argue with you about it, but I am obeying the law as it's written in the Florida statutes." Of course, you better be obeying the law in order to be able to say that. And if he is aware of the law, or he goes back to his car and he looks it up and he sees you were doing something that wasn't allowed under the law, then of course you're going to be in trouble. So let's try to avoid that. So there's basically three classifications for electric bikes in the state of Florida. A bicycle that has pedals and has power assist, a bicycle that is power assist and has pedals, and a bicycle that is power assist. Now, the limitations on these bicycles is basically 20 miles an hour. And I could read you the statutes, but basically you have three bikes, and class 1 and 2 bikes can only go 20 miles an hour, and class 3 bikes can go 28 miles an hour. My Sur-Ron can go 32 miles an hour, so I want to make sure that I'm staying under 20 miles an hour when I'm zipping around town here. They can be exclusively propelled by electric power, or they can be assisting the pedal power, and the main thing is that it ceases to provide electrical power to the engine and to the wheels once you've reached those thresholds. So again, my Sur-Ron can exceed those thresholds, and I'm not certain how that applies to the Florida law exactly. I want to mention now that I am not an attorney and I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just letting you know how I'm interpreting the Florida statutes, and you should read them in your particular state, city, or county. The main point here is that, with the exception, now this is statute 316.20655, except as otherwise provided in this section, an electric bike or an operator of an electric bike shall be afforded all the rights and privileges and subject to all the duties of a bicycle or an operator of a bicycle, including 316-2.65. An electric bicycle is a vehicle to the same extent as a bicycle. However, this section may not be construed to prevent local governments, through their exercise of the powers under 316.008, from adopting ordinance governing the operation of electric bikes on streets, highways, sidewalk areas under the local jurisdictions. So there is a Florida statute that governs the electric bikes, and then seems that each county or city can have more strict or more lenient. I'm not sure if they can go lenient, but they can have more strict bylaws. The main point here is that you want to operate your electric bike just like a regular bicycle. You're not allowed to drive on sidewalks particularly. Those are for pedestrians. You're supposed to follow all the rules of the road that a bicycle does. Stopping at stop signs, stopping at stoplights, traveling with traffic, and obeying the laws that follow a bicycle operation. I also would mention that there's some things that you really don't want to do, and you don't want to drive on sidewalks against the flow of traffic. If someone comes up to a road and wants to make a right-hand turn and there's oncoming traffic, that particular individual is going to be looking the other way, and if you're coming down from his back side, from the right side of the road, or passing the car around doing whatever, that guy, that driver, that woman is going to be looking at oncoming traffic and paying attention there. And if you're coming down the sidewalk and you pull out just when there's open area, and you're asking for trouble there. So important to know the rules of the road, to follow the rules of the road, and to ride safely. I hope this was helpful. Go to your websites, check out the statutes for your particular state, print it out, carry it with you, know what they are, and follow the rules. So have a great time on your bike. I love mine.